So welcome to another episode of Behind the Bar podcast. I'm Ross Thompson, your host. I run 3 gyms across the northeast of England and a global online program, the Barbell Club, alongside my wife Sarah, where we can take you from complete beginner to photo shoot ready results. We've gotten thousands of results in the past. We've been going since 2012, now 2025, so 13 years we've been in the game, and we just love to get people results in the easiest way possible. All links are below to check us out on socials. Now, on today's episode, today's guest is someone who defines what it means to show up, not just in the gym, but in life. Jonny is a 39-year-old single parent, full-time worker, and an absolute machine in our Barbell Club. Since starting with us, he's dropped 25 kg, skyrocketed his strength, and transformed not only his body, but his mental health, his mindset, and his life. He's found a community, he's found purpose, and he's found a version of himself that was always there, just waiting to be unleashed. This isn't just about weight loss. This is about resilience, real change, and what happens when you finally put yourself on the list. So let's dive into this one and enjoy. Ready?
Ready.
Who is Jonny?
Who is Jonny? 39. Ooh. Nearly 40.
Yeah.
Like about 4 weeks actually. So yeah, nearly 40. Single dad of one lovely teenager.
How old?
14.
14. Mine's 15. Oldest Jake, 15,
Which
16.
She kicked off the year of the 4, so she's 14, and then I obviously hit 40. It's not like it was planned or anything, So 14-year-old.
Sound? Right then. What was life like before you joined the Barbell Club?
In what sense? Just generally.
Generally, who were you before that?
I mean, from a gym point of view, very sporadic. So literally, it's one of those things. Yeah, absolutely love doing it, but it just wasn't consistent enough. So yeah, I say from a gym point of view, not the best. It could have been a hell of a lot better. I would say before that, generally speaking, quite well. The last 4 years has certainly been very stressful.
Yeah.
Obviously with change of circumstances. It's calmed down a hell of a lot since starting Barbell. Obviously Barbell's contributed to that, but there's obviously other factors as well that's fed into that as well. So yeah, kind of stressful, hectic, just a little bit kind of all over the place. So yeah, obviously I'll say it's a lot calmer now since starting.
A bit structure.
There's a lot of structure now, yeah, absolutely, which helped massively for me. Well, for me and my daughter as well. Actually, she's autistic, so she's very like you've got to have a schedule. Everything has to be scheduled. Everything has to happen at a certain time. And
does she understand your schedule now? Like with the
she asks every night. It's like, right, what day is it? Right, gym tomorrow? Yes. Is it push day? She tells me.
Does she?
So like it's push day tomorrow. I'm like, all right, okay, thanks for telling us. Because my memory's shocking, to be fair. It's really bad. So yeah, but then she's asking. So it's like, well, what did you do?
Yeah.
So yeah, she's like, right, you've got the gym, and then obviously come in, got to get her away to school, and yeah, she's the boss in the house now.
Is she interested in the stuff what you're doing in the gym as well?
She's always asking about it. So she's like, well, what did you do? So I'll tell her, well, I did this and this, or well, what's that? So then I'll have to kind of try and half demonstrate what I've actually done. So she's really interested in it. Probably not enough to the point where she would come in and do it, but I think if you're given time, I think that's just a confidence thing with her. Yeah. But obviously she is getting a lot more confident now. So yeah, it's annoying because I think she would be really good at it as well. So at school, she's very sporty. She's just done her options actually for our last 2 years. So one of them was PE. She didn't pick it, which I was slightly gutted about. But yeah, I think give her a year or two, she'll be right into this sort of stuff.
Oh, that's meant that.
But she's obviously seen units now because she's been watching the YouTube videos as well.
Right, okay.
From all the photo shoots and everything. So yeah, so Yeah, she's obsessed with that video, by the way.
Which one?
The behind the scenes one.
Is she? Oh, mint. That's good. I just put one up this morning with the Marbella stuff in as well.
I'll show her. She's always asking now. She's like, "Oh, are you going to be in any more?" Honestly, she's absolutely buzzing that I'm in a YouTube video.
Oh, is she?
Yeah. So she's
another one.
So yeah, and once I've told her about this one, yeah. So no, because obviously she's seen the Sunderland branch, obviously where I'm at, and then it was the shoot after, wasn't it? Yes. Obviously in here, so she's had a look around this, so she's like, "Oh, I'm absolutely fascinated by it." So give it a year or two, I think we'll break her, and she'll
get in?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Monkey see, monkey do?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's brilliant, that. Yeah. Excellent. So can you describe the moment that made you decide to make a change?
So that will have been, so it's just over, well, it's coming up a year ago. So it was last May. There is a bit of a story to it, obviously, so there's kind of a series of events. So I mean, most people who I train with know obviously what the crack is, but obviously 4 years ago, obviously I'm widowed. So I lost Amanda 4 years ago in the January. So there was a lot went on, but basically I dealt with, there was a lot of things going on. Obviously, daughter's the priority. Of course, there's things that, obviously I'm executor on the will, so you're dealing with the will, you're dealing with everything that comes with that, the family politics that comes with it as well. You know, there's a lot of, you know, basically putting fires out and all the rest of it. People causing problems unnecessarily. I basically did everything other than look after myself. So if you then fast forward a couple of years, my mental health's been up and down probably for the last 20 years. So I could feel it was coming up to Christmas. Obviously Christmas is a little bit of, I love Christmas, but it is a bit of a funny time of year because that's when Amanda was probably at our worst. So you've always got that little cloud. And I knew I wasn't right just up here. And it was very much a case of fight mode kicked in, and it was like, right, enough's enough. You know, your daughter's only got you now. You need to start doing something about it. So that was the driver, really. So went to the GP, counselling kicked in. So that was a good few. I think I had to wait 12 weeks for that. It's not quick. It's really not quick. But fortunately, in terms of friends and family, the support was there. I'd like to say another aspect it was there. It really wasn't. And what ended up happening was I took 3 months out of work again. And that and had to happen. And it was almost like the stars kind of aligned a little bit. And there's actually a show, because we like to recommend shows, obviously, don't we, within Barbell?
Yes, you do.
Yes, we do.
It's on Netflix and Amazon in the morning.
But I say it's almost like the stars aligned. So there's a show on, you can get it through Disney Plus, and it's Chris Hemsworth, Limitless with Chris Hemsworth.
I've already started watching that.
It's brilliant because obviously each episode covers different things. So I think the first one goes into stress, how you deal. I mean, obviously because it's meant to be entertaining to do these over the top things, but at the end,
is that where he did the building thing?
He's on he's on the skyscraper, so he's walking across the crane. But obviously it's all breathing techniques and stuff. So that one is going into obviously different techniques for dealing with anxiety. This is where the cold water therapy came into things, because the next episode is obviously heat and cold and the benefits on your body. The benefits of fasting. This will shock you. It's got nothing to do with weight loss. But yeah, there's all these different things, and it's how you can. This is how Chris Hemsworth finds out he's more prone to, is it Alzheimer's or whichever one it is.
Okay.
This is picked up during that. But his mindset with this whole thing is it's all longevity. It's things you can do now which will then benefit later on. So obviously I'm sat there thinking, right, what have I been doing for the last few years? This is what I've been doing. Well, it's not working because I'm in a perpetual state of this cycle keeps happening where this keeps, it's just it's in the gutter effectively. So it's right, okay, none of this stuff's been working. What can I do? I need to change things. So this is very much, as I say, fight mode's kicking in. And one thing I did, because I'm quite reflective anyway, so I'm sat there thinking, well, okay, one thing I always do is I'm going to change all these different things. And I try and change it all at the same time, and it never sticks. I thought, right, let's try a different tactic here. Let's just change things gradually. And okay. So yeah, one of the things is obviously moving more. So yeah, I'm obviously out walking all the time, and that's actually one of the things on the Chris Hemsworth thing I picked up as well, is if you go out for a walk, but leave your phone in the house.
Yeah.
Because obviously that is a distraction. Walk in areas where, just little things like birdsong, because your brain can actually process nature better, because obviously we are animals at the end of the day. So it tunes into that part of your brain where it's, all right, okay, I'm in an easy place. You can obviously process it easier because it's nature. And it's just amazing just doing little things like that, where it kind of just resets your brain a little bit, just brings you back into like a calmer sort of state. So having watched this program, having sat there, and I was off for 3 months, very much a reflective, right, okay, I need to change things. You start gradually doing all these things. And I brought back the concept of the gamble purchase. So I used to do this during COVID. So I would just buy something once a month, just randomly. So one thing I bought was the Rock's Terramana tequila. I can't stand tequila, but I thought, right, okay, let's just try it, and let's just branch out a little bit. So the gamble purchase was buying the cold water pod.
Right, okay.
So when I start reading into that, it's good for, basically you jump in the cold water, it just diffuses everything. So it turns out, obviously anxiety is one of those things. So I initially bought it for diffusing the anxiety. Yeah. It helps. Because obviously, the only thing you can think about is the fact you're freezing your knackers off, amongst other things.
Better you than me.
But yep. but it works. But then obviously that has been a really good purchase, because then you fast forward to a year later. Well, in between that time, I've always been aware that hitting the gym is massively beneficial, but it's just never been consistent. So that was, in this journey of, right, okay, I've kind of changed a few things. I've kind of, it's not just a case of bringing things in that's going to benefit you. It's other things that are probably causing negative impact as well. So people who were just, I've kind of cut a lot of people out as well, who were just bringing too much negative energy. But yeah, by the time I'd kind of done this overhaul in the 3 months, it was like, right, okay, I need to start getting back in the gym. So I did have access to a gym through Whitburn Way. The issue with that was, one of the lads, we could get in after hours, you see. So okay. If one of the lads who basically had the key couldn't get there, we weren't getting in. Right. So it would then result in we're either going to walk out or walk in a couple of pints, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because I'm actually sat with one of the lads and basically bringing back the concept of the midweek moan, which is on a Wednesday you go and have a couple of pints, and whatever's pissed you off over the last week, you just sit and rant. And yeah. Honestly, it's ridiculously therapeutic. So it was good in one sense, but it's not good in the sense that you need the gym, obviously that consistency. So we fast forward then to, it was around April, May last year. So it would have been when you've done the shred and the shoot. Yeah, and it was actually Anastasia's photos. So obviously I know Anna, I know her husband Chris as well. Yeah. And no better endorsement. Obviously I know they're big, fitness is very much a part of their lifestyle. No better endorsement. And I just thought, you know what, it's probably the gamble purchase thing kicking in again as well. Yeah. And I just thought, you know what, let's just go for it. Because I'm in full fight mode at this point, where it's like, yeah, let's just go and do it, let's not procrastinate and just go and do it. I think you might have reached out to us. It took us a little while to come back to you, probably a week or two. And then, I think before I knew it, I'd signed up, and I stupidly chose double leg week to start on, which I didn't know it, but I remember walking in. It's like, oh, you've chose a cracking week to start because it's double legs. All right, okay, how bad can it be? Very, as it turns out, yeah. But yeah, as I've said on, obviously, because I've posted the shred results, and I think I've hinted at it on mine. You certainly said it when you posted it as well. Is I walk through the doors. It's an anxiety coping mechanism. It's just a tool in your arsenal to help, obviously, deal with your anxiety, and more importantly, to deal with it on a consistent basis. So not just I'll go to the gym a couple of times and then kind of leave it 3-4 weeks. You need to be in on a weekly basis. You need to be just hitting it constantly. So that's where it all started.
Yeah. And you don't have much choice because you've got to be in at a certain time slot. Which means you've got to be there.
Yes.
And you're waiting for someone with a key.
Yeah, which is better for me, because I mean that's also, I mean the benefit there is, because my initial concern was, right, okay, my daughter getting up for school. So if anything, it's been a massive benefit for her, because now she's got that element of responsibility. She gets up in her own time, so she can get herself showered and everything, get her breakfast and stuff. So it's kind of given her a little bit of responsibility as well, which is, if anything, I think that was going to be the biggest issue. And I think within 2 weeks, she was just ducked her water. She was like, yeah, I'm fine with this, just,
it's good,
crack on. Yeah, which I think she's kind of at that point now, because I said there's been a lot of stuff going on with her as well. Massive confidence boost for her.
Yeah, it gives her like a grown-up type thing, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like making
exactly.
your own breakfast, like, God, I mean, fucking minding it, make their own breakfast, yeah. But I got yours at 25, right? So, where are we at? So you've dropped 25 kilos and built incredible strength.
Yep.
What did that journey actually feel like day to day?
It's been a bit of a... It's been thinking about... I'll say
that's a canny chunk.
It is. I mean, honestly, walking through the doors a year ago, I never thought I would be doing anything like the shred or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because that's not what it was about. It was just a coping mechanism.
Even though Anna's photos were the thing what...
Oh, I know.
Did you?
I know. It's weird, isn't it? But that was kind of the furthest thing from my mind. Honestly, walking through the doors, I thought I would just turn up, do me session, and then I'd be away, and that's it, and not think anything more of it for the rest of the day. It's changed massively over the last year. So that anxiety tool, coping mechanism tool, very quickly, the love for it, because I've always liked lifting weights was always my preference. As I said to you on the testimonials, I cannot stand burpees. I cannot stand any of that stuff. But then it's weird how all that's changed as well, obviously, with doing the high rock sessions on a Saturday, because we then had that conversation. But it very much then, within a few months, became a hobby. So it's kind of like, I'm loving this again. And now you look at it a year later, it's just lifestyle. It's very much part of... but there's no...
Routine.
It's routine, yeah. There's no better kick than... I think it was probably a few months in when you start to see the weight coming off. It's weird actually, because I think it was the beginning of May when I started, and I think it was the beginning of June last year I actually went to Keswick for the beer festival. Okay. There's a few of the lads I hadn't actually seen for a while, and they were like, God, have you lost weight? Yeah. So you could see straight away, it's like people are noticing. So I think that was probably the beginning of it. I mean, within a space of 4 weeks as well. And bear in mind, I probably joined at the worst time, because for once I was actually quite social on most weekends. Right, yeah. So I remember Sarah saying, you were still enjoying these beers on a weekend, mind, aren't you? And I was like, I know, but like, for once I'm actually being social, and then it eased off after that. But honestly, in terms of the journey, I've absolutely loved it, because there's no greater feeling than actually being able to fit back into clothes that you bought it like ages ago. Seeing your strength come up, I think I remember hitting... was it 105 kilo on the chest press at one point? Jesus. And I was like, I never thought in a million years, you just get, it's just really addictive. Yeah. Like, it's just, but in a good way though, it's kind of like, just to be able to improve yourself and beat that PB, and it gives you focus, it gives you something to strive toward as well, and just to target, and just all of that, doing it within this community as well, where it's you're getting that feedback. It's like, that was a mint lift. That was like, that was fucking class, mate. Like, yeah, we can push for it, and to have that support from people. And it's not something I'm used to, and I'm normally quite awkward taking compliments from people as well. Whereas I don't know, it actually feels quite natural and normal within this gym community as well, which is another thing I never expected in a million years to get from it. Yeah, if you think of when you're saying 105 bench press or whatever else, like to see one of your mates who doesn't go to the gym, or maybe it's even the band, it's like they don't understand it, but people in the gym are like, 105, let's go. Yeah, we're just a different breed, aren't we? And it's a crack, like both 6 a.m, 7 a.m, obviously I was down there all this week. I actually messaged Ben, I was kid, them 2 sessions are mint. Aye. Like they are. It was crack from start to finish. Yeah. Not child-friendly crack,
But
no. There's a lot of fun PC comments as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great. It's all in good fun though. It's not. There's nothing.
But everybody's
about.
The thing is, outside of the gym, everyone's a professional, and it's just one of them spaces where you can let loose, have a good laugh all together.
Absolutely.
From ages what? I mean, I don't know what the youngest is there, but it goes up to like late 50s, 60s in the 6 till 7 a.m.s.
Yeah, I was trying to think who the youngest is. Paul was always the youngest, actually.
He's 38.
Mm-hmm.
You're not the youngest.
Sheila's 63.
Yeah, Sheila's 63. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And she's a badass.
Yeah.
And she's been all week fucking, she's a strong motherfucker.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. It's mint. And the 25 kilos with you as well, like, because everybody's seeing you on a day-to-day basis, and I only obviously see you on the Saturdays or whenever I come across, and everybody who I've like talked to is kid, I can't remember him being like that.
No one can.
Nah. Mad, innit?
No one can, because I know we've had this conversation already, so I'd obviously posted that. I mean, that was a big thing for me as well, actually putting those pictures up, because I hate my photo being taken. Yeah. So actually that was a good thing with doing the shred, is you actually having your photos done in that capacity as well, where it's obviously top off and oiled up and tanned up and all the rest.
And shaved that chest and back, Jesus. I'm pleased that went off.
Yeah, don't. I cannot stand my back hair if it makes you feel any better. Cannot stand it. So no, that was a big thing as well, as just doing that. But yeah, the amount of people, that was one of the first comments, is just, I can't remember you ever being that big.
Yeah.
And it probably comes back to the fact, I say, within that first 4 weeks, people are noticing, well, Christ, there's a difference already. So it's not like it was, I think from minute one joining, it was already coming off without really thinking about it, you know. So I think that's, yeah, I kind of forget I was that size as well, until I then go in and try one of my suits from back then, and it's kind of like, all right, okay, it's like, this is me here and the suit's out here somewhere. Like the jacket's absolutely massive.
Have you thrown them yet? Because the longer you keep them, the more in the back of the head I'll be like, I'll just keep them just in case.
Yeah, one of them will be going, one of them I won't, because it was from it was my youngest brother's wedding. Right, so it's kind of like a memory thing with that, but one of them will be going. I have had to buy a new suit actually recently, like the last couple of months. Never have I bought a suit so quickly. I think it took less than 10 minutes.
Did it?
Because stuff actually fitted straight away, and I was kind of like, oh right, this is a first.
Yeah.
I mean, to be actually back in like 34 waist as well, see, that's another thing. Just back in, I think I was probably in my teens the last time I was in a 34 waist.
Really?
Good chance, yeah.
Yeah. So you were like say that size for pretty much all your life, really?
I was probably a little bit smaller than that. I think, obviously, the stress of everything going on. Yeah, quite possibly, yeah. I mean, it's hard to, I think there was periods when I probably was thinner.
Yeah, but But like that money shot.
No, definitely not like the money shot, no. No. Which actually, that is everyone's favourite photo as well, by the way. Yeah,
it's my screensaver.
Yeah. Yeah. You said that. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Right then, what were the biggest challenges then? Like, and how did you push through it? Like, I mean, we'll say like within the year of the training, like what has been like that biggest, or if there has been any challenge, or if it's been an easy ride.
I think, has there been any? I genuinely think it's actually not been. It's pretty much duck to water. To be honest, I think the only time I've kind of really struggled with everything, and it was probably the last 2-3 weeks of the shred.
Right.
Because things get to you. I remember, I think I went down the sheepfolds and I was sat there and I was just looking at the bar because my daughter wanted a Pepsi, so I was like, yeah, I'll go and get a Pepsi. And I was just sat there, I was like, I could murder a pint. But I was at a point, but then, do you know what it is? I think I'd said that to people, like, obviously in the 7 a.m. session, it's like, yeah, that's when you know you're doing things right.
Yeah.
I think that last week, albeit it's very educational, when obviously you're doing your water manipulation, everything, and obviously your carb day, it's still, I think I came in on the Friday morning and I was like, I was ready to actually jump out of my car and fight a pothole, because obviously just the roads are uneven anyway. That does me head in. But when you hit, like, I think I'd hit one like quite badly, and I was ready to get out, and Ben was howling, laughing at us. He was like, that's when you know you're doing it right.
Yeah.
You know, you're ready to fight your own shadow kind of thing. So I think that's probably been the toughest, was probably that last 2-3 weeks. But then, I don't know, I've looked at it as an educational thing, because it's kind of like, I've just thrown myself into, it's just learning. I said, it's not been that difficult, and I said, it very much feels like duck to water. It's almost like this is what I should have been doing for the last 15-20 years. Feels natural, I suppose.
But if you'd done it 15-20 years ago, you might not have stuck to it. So it's like probably that time. It's all timing.
Yeah, it probably is, and I'd like to think probably I've got more patience now, which, if you know us, I think with some things I don't have patience, but yeah, maybe it's an age and a maturity thing. An age thing, maturity.
Because the thing is, a younger you might have maybe just did the 3 months and then I can do it myself. Do you know what I mean? Type thing. Because a lot of younger people do that, and you know, with the age, like what you said about the ages of people, it's like, I think it gets to a point with people, and it's like, now is that time, and it's like, I'm willing to just let someone take care of it, and
there will be a massive element of that, definitely.
Because we can never really imagine what our younger self would have done with it, really, can we? We can only know what we know now.
Yeah, it's probably just young, daft, and I know better, despite the fact I know the square root of fuck all, to be honest with you. but I think it is just, So yeah, it's a timing thing, absolutely, definitely.
Come on. Was there like a moment you ever realised, like, I'm really doing this?
Probably on the day of the photo shoot. Now I'm thinking about that. Honestly, that will be. It's like I think it was. I remember walking in the door. Honestly, your hands are like that. It's like it's like the Gene Wilder thing, isn't it? Where it's just like, but this was my good hand kind of thing. Honestly, it was just like, because I said to get my photo done. Mm-hmm. It's the worst thing for me. I hate my photo being taken. But yeah, I think it's when I was stood there with Dan and obviously Steve, and you're pumping up and you're getting ready to do it. It's like, this is happening. Obviously, Deb's oiling you up as well. It's like, this is definitely, it's definitely happening now.
That's when it's happening, when Deb's oiling you up.
You're at that point. Yeah, it's definitely happening now. I would probably say that. Yeah, it's actually, and probably those first couple of things that I did. I can't remember how the different the poses and stuff we did. I can't remember the order now. Well, probably the first couple, I was still nervous as hell. But
so we did the lifestyle bit first, didn't we?
We did the lifestyle bit first, yeah. There was a couple of others, but I thought actually going back to that photo, I don't think it's any coincidence, because I think that's when I was in my stride with it.
Right, okay, right.
Because I think by that point, because I do remember saying, because obviously Luke getting the shot, I was like, well, should we do it here? Do you want it a bit further up like this? And I think I was kind of communicating back as well.
Yes, yeah.
So yeah, I think it was definitely that day is probably the day where it's like, Christ, I've actually done this. I never thought in a million years. If you think back a year ago, I never thought in a million years I would actually go and do that. But yeah.
Love it. How has training affected your role as a dad?
Definitely. Obviously, there's the routine stuff. I think it's definitely helped with routine. I wouldn't say if you look at it from a nutritional point of view, I wouldn't say we ate terribly, but we probably just ate too much of the right stuff.
Too much of the
right stuff. So when you start tracking everything, what I would do is I'd go into work, and if you're in a meeting and you're starting to switch off, be like, oh, there's biscuits there, I'm getting a bit bored, I'm going to eat biscuits. So I would offset by coming in at night and having a couple of chicken fillets and overeating.
Yeah.
So from a nutritional point of view, I think certainly tracking now, it's actually, I don't need to eat loads and loads and loads and loads, just eating the right sort of things. So yeah, playing around with food and stuff like that, and I think that's kind of encouraged me to get a bit more creative again with food, and daughter benefits because she's kind of like, I think she's getting interest. Cooking's one of the things she's chosen to do actually for the next couple of years. So I think she's getting a little bit interested in like, oh, can I help you do that? Or what's this? And I think as she can see the impact it's having on me, I think she's now getting a little bit more,
right?
Like, yeah, she's going to start eating, not that she was eating terribly, but yeah, she's eating better and stuff as well.
A little bit higher protein? Does she ask about the protein and that as well? Or?
Yeah, you know, it's actually encouraged the conversation because we found it was the Eton mess flavour.
Okay.
Protein powder, she loved it, and my protein don't do it anymore. So I think she's kind of like, she's all for having like a protein shake, but it has to be the right flavour. So it's like, yeah, so she's, I think, yeah, certainly from a nutritional point of view, obviously it gets to a weekend, it's like, right, we're getting out, it's warming up as well, we're getting out for a walk, so she's all for, yeah, and she will walk for miles and miles and miles.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So I even get her like map the route out, so it's like, right, which way we're going. So she'll be like, oh, we're going to go up like kind of Seaburn way, we'll head up towards the stack. Or she's like, right, when I want to go near the glass centre, the boats, she loves doing the sheepfolds because it's like, right, up to the metro, 2 stops along, but then you can join the river on to walk back along the river. So again, she's not daft because it's, well, the glass centre's just there. I can nip in and maybe get some sweets or something like that as well. But yeah, she will walk for miles and miles and miles. So yeah, it's probably kind of reignited her love of like the fitness thing as well. It's like she's a lot more keen now to actually go out and be a little bit more active as well. So yeah,
that's good. I like that.
So I would say it certainly, but obviously it's not just my lifestyle, but it's hers as well. Where she's obviously it's had a massive impact on her, I would say.
And like we said, monkey say monkey do.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Yeah, I think actually, you know, I mean, the funny thing with all that is like, obviously, you know, she's buzzing like with that YouTube video. I don't think she quite cottoned on, but I think she'd watched it a second time. We watched it on the TV the second time, and she was like, "Oh, Dad, that was mint." Like 10 out of 10. Like for her to kind of say that, it's like, yeah, it's a little bit of. I think you've said it actually, where it's like you want your kids to say like they're proud of you kind of thing, and I think it's that where she's like, yeah, my dad's doing this thing, and like you can see he's enjoying it, and just like I say, she's buzzing. Dad's on a YouTube video now, so it's like, yeah, this is class. Even my niece and nephew said it as well, kind of extending out, because I remember, I think it was the day after we went up to Seaton Delaval for that Helios exhibit.
Okay.
And I'd obviously posted into like the family group. It's like, oh, there's like a behind the scenes thing. Lil's like kind of like half watched it. So the kids had been watching it on the drive up there, and they got in right. And
no wonder the views went right up.
And honestly, and like the kids were watching it. So me niece got out of the car, and she is the living embodiment of Wednesday Addams. So she's like putting like down, like yeah. And she was saying, I was watching that video you were in, and she was like, oh, you look really cool. And I was just like, Jesus, like for her to say something like that. How old? She's 9 this year.
And she said, you're cool. Mm-hmm. Well done. We've won.
And yeah, I think my nephew had seen us at one point, probably due in the shred, and he was just like, I didn't even realise he was in the house. And I walked through, and he was just like, I don't know if I'd been out the back or a half warm day or something, and I'd come through and obviously knee top on because I didn't realise he was there. And he stopped and he was just like, Jesus, I was thinking, what's up with you? I've never seen you like that. But it's probably been about 4 or 5 months since we've been away as a family.
Yes, yeah.
So obviously there would have been a fair bit of kilo had come off. Yeah. I was probably looking...
2 kilos in bud hair.
Yeah, well, easily. So yeah, he looked, he was just like, Jesus, like... But yeah, I think that's good for the kids to see it as well as the kind of like, see how well you're doing, and it's kind of like, wow, like that's a massive change, and it kind of encourages them a little bit as well. But yeah, as a dad, yeah, it calms you down a lot more because obviously with her being, you know, autistic, there's days which is challenging. Mm-hmm. If she's in one, she is 95% of the time she's good as gold, but when she's in one, my God, like it tests your patience. So yeah, I think it's probably improved. I mean, we had a good relationship anyway, given the situation we'll find ourselves in, but yeah, it's probably stronger again because there's things you can kind of do together. And
yeah, that's it. It is. And with those walks, it's like, as long as the kids, I think, have got that little stop-off point somewhere for an ice cream, for you, for coffee, whatever else, they'll happily do it.
Yeah, but I mean, but then it's her opportunity as well to kind of talk about, like, you know, she'll be asking about her mum, or did my mum ever do this? And so when she catches you out, I'm like, you know what, I've actually got no idea. Leave it with us, I'll come back to you on that one. But yeah, but yeah, then she'll be telling us about school, or she'll be thinking like, well, you know, we've got centre parks in a few months. She'll start talking about that, and she'll be mapping again, schedule master. It's like, this is what we're going to do. You're going to pick us up at this time. We're going to drive down there, and it's, I suppose, her opportunity as well. Like, well, for me and her to kind of have a bit of a chin wag, and she can talk and quite freely, and she can be out, and she's not sat on her phone like doing that, it's something I'm trying to break her away from that as well. So,
which is tough.
It is, but she's getting a lot better.
Yeah, I'm quite hammer. If we do go for a walk, I'll just say no phones. Like at restaurants as well. Like for us, like it's a no phone policy. Like even for them, like tablets, whatever else, it's like just no, like all the time. And we've stuck with it in the fine, but we've done it from such a young age of like.
Yeah, I mean, it's a particularly tough one for me because that will help her as well.
Yeah.
But as I say, she is getting more confident, so you can kind of get away with it a lot more now as well. But yeah, she'll think nothing of, I'm just going to leave my phone in the house. Like, I'll leave my phone in the house as well, so we'll just have a walk around and, you know, chat away and stuff, and she'll be like, oh, maybe we'll go in here or go in there, and which again is something that she's never done previously. She would proactively not go in places because obviously she just didn't have the confidence, whereas now she's like, I want to go in here, I want to go in here. So
huge effect.
Yes.
Yeah. Huge
massively.
Effect.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Like you said, the Barbell Club became your community. Mm-hmm. Like, what does that mean to you?
It's, you cannot, I don't think you can put a price on the level of support. So there's two sides to this. So there's obviously just being physically in the gym, whether it's pushing you through to, you know, obviously reverse lunges are the absolute devil for me, but you know, it's like, well, people will push you in the no, and it's like when you get to that point of, right, I've done all my sets and hit every single rep as well. So there's all that encouragement, whether you're hitting a new PB or whatever. I'd say I never kind of expected that a year ago, and massive support. And if you're having an off day, people know you're having an off day, and they kind of just leave you to it, but they'll push you through. And you know, doing the shred, obviously couldn't have done it without them, because it's you know, on so many levels, where it's like it's genuine encouragement or it's piss taking encouragement.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I've made these, you know, Nicola will be like, I've made these cakes today, but you can't have any. I'm like, right, okay.
People are making cakes.
Yeah, no, it's a rarity.
Jesus.
The big one. I think the big one for me is yeah. I say there's all that sort of stuff. I think it's great the fact, you know, I've got, obviously Alex has been the PT there on the ground from minute one, so you can pick his brains about stuff. I love the fact you all train in a different way. You're teaching a different way. So you can have a conversation with Alex and get a lot from it. You know, then we've got Joe, who's obviously took over from Sarah, you know, with the app and everything, so you can ask him questions, and it's a different approach again. So Joe's actually taken us there at Sunderland when Alex hasn't been there. I think the fact I've got all of you, then obviously Saturday there's yourself, there's Matty, Rick as well. I did a session with Rick on one of these Saturdays, so I think having that is just invaluable because you're just learning something different. And for me, it's like I've really enjoyed that aspect of it. The big thing for me though was back in January. January just gone, because obviously 7th of January is a particularly bad day, because that's obviously would have been 4 years since Amanda passed, and it actually blew me away, just the amount of people from the barbell community as well who reached out and just like, if you ever need anything, doesn't need to be about that, but you know, if you need to talk about anything, doesn't need to be about that as such. It's just walk along the front, you can just talk shit if you want, you know, and it's just the amount of people who kind of checked in as well. And I think that was definitely a key moment for me. It's where you realised it's kind of gone beyond that as well, and everyone's got your back, not just on the gym front, but everyone's got your back out there in the real world as well. And I think, that's just something I never expected. So I would definitely say that community spirit, obviously, because you're always saying that as well. It's like, build up that community spirit. It's there. Yeah. It's absolutely there. So that for me has been invaluable, as well as to have that level of support. And that was a massive thing for me in January, actually.
Yeah. Steph's been your cheerleader all the way.
She has, Steph has, yeah.
Mad in it, yeah.
Yeah. But I think that's definitely been good as well. The fact someone else was going through the shred processes. Yeah. You've got someone there in the 7 a.m.
to mourn with you.
to mourn, to swap notes.
Yeah.
You can't beat it. So it's and obviously Cole's doing it now. So it's kind of like he's
now you're rooting for him. Yeah,
we are. Yeah, definitely. Like, it'll be really good to see like the results for Coles actually. But it's like he's got a couple of people there who's been. Obviously, he's got Sarah who's gone through it, but then he's got us as well. And it's like it's you can't beat it, man. It's just fantastic. And
it's like once some of us are done, it's support. It's like the switch of support, isn't it?
Yeah, it is absolutely.
Never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
But I like it. Yeah, Cole's going to do well. I mean, he's a week in. He seems motivated at this moment in time, but it is the first week. It's like the honeymoon period for the first 3 weeks.
I genuinely loved it. I mean, I hate burpees and stuff, like all that cardio stuff, but those high rock sessions were class on the Saturday. I was really enjoying it. I think it was a few weeks in. I think I had a particular Saturday where, my God, I felt like I'd been hit by a truck. But then I did go around with Alex.
Was that a double leg week?
It was possibly that, but then I went around with Alex as well, which obviously Alex is just like, his fitness is just through the bloody roof anyway. So it's like, I survived bar a few reps here and there, but again,
whip it, isn't
he is. But again, I think I went out in the group and just said, obviously, like again, people could see it's like he's pushing through, but they're like, come on, keep it going, and I think that's when it sent
fuck you.
Yeah, it was like, but sent the message out that day, and I was just like, honestly, I think it was obvious, like I was in an absolute vortex today, but like, cheers guys, obviously for that support and stuff, because it was class. But I genuinely enjoyed the process. It was probably only the last 2-3 weeks, as I say, which is a bit of a kicker, but everyone experiences it differently. So
I think everyone does. Well, I think it's always them last few weeks, but some people, I suppose, switch it. It's like, only a few weeks left, so the mindset can switch. Mm-hmm. But I think, like you said, like if you're not feeling like death's door at the end, like you haven't done it properly. And like me and obviously Coach Dan from Concert, that's how we see it. Like if we're going to that extent of like trying to get to the best possible in X amount of weeks as well. So where are we at now? In what ways, I don't know if you've covered this, but we'll say it again anyway. In what ways has your mental health changed since starting then?
I mean, I'm not going to lie, there's still those things that push your buttons. But it's nowhere, the goal was to go nowhere near. I say I've been up and down for 20 years, and the worst it's ever been was hitting a really depressed state. So that was probably about 20 years ago. It got bad. It's been absolutely top notch, to be honest with you. I say we all get our off days. That's going to happen. There's some days, and I say there's certain pitch. I've just mentioned it there. Obviously, January and over Christmas is always a little bit funny. I do enjoy that time, but it's a bit. It's not. There's always that cloud that kind of hangs over it, but. Generally, absolutely top notch. It's been really good, and I think obviously having that, I think the fact it's gone from just being a coping mechanism, a tool, to like a hobby, to basically lifestyle, definitely helps as well. Because I say I don't really look as getting up early and going for the 7 a.m. as a chore. It's kind of like it's just part of the routine, and it's like absolutely. I think I actually said to you, probably the best way of putting it is what I said to you on the testimonial, because I think you asked that same question. I was like, well, I haven't killed anyone yet. Yeah. So it's like I'm not confessing to anything, but it's like I haven't flew off the handle. I've never. I say 2 years ago when I went to the GP, they weren't concerned because I've been here before. And I think if you can recognise, you're on a bit of a downward spiral, it's a good thing, because at least you can address it, you recognise it, and you can, it's a preemptive strike. I've never been anywhere near that over the last year. And I say it's not to say there's things not, there's certain aspects of my world outside of these walls where it's not going exactly the way I want it to, but there's things being put in place now to obviously sort that out. So I think once that kind of lands, that's going to be the entire jigsaw is going to be complete kind of thing. But yeah,
it's never complete, you know.
Oh, there's always going to be something else. Yeah, I'm kidding myself.
Like exhaust.
Yes, don't. Apart from the exhaust thing this morning, which might not be the exhaust, but it probably is. No, I've been nowhere near where I was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I think it's probably like a dot on the horizon. It's that far away from hitting, to be honest. So yeah.
I can't take any of the credit neither, like, because I'm in an office somewhere, just fucking doodle doot.
Well, I've been shouting and by already, but Joe, for cracking the whip and like, right, what's going on here? But yeah, definitely, obviously Joe and Alex for just, you know, the two of them. Obviously,
Sarah had you at the start, remember?
She did.
Okay.
She did.
Always give her a shout out.
And
she's the fucking boss.
I'm working my way through everybody, but yeah, obviously, certainly, it's Sarah at the beginning. I'll never forget that because it was the thing where it was like, oh, we're enjoying these beers still. I was like, do I have to track them? Yes, you track everything. I'm like, oh, right, okay.
Good.
Yeah, I can't remember where we're going with this one now.
It was, where was it? What even question was it?
I cannot remember.
How did you? Mental health, I think it was in what ways has your mental health changed since starting, but I think it's mint.
No, it was good, because you're saying you can't take any of the credit, can you?
Yes, that's right.
That's where we're at. We'll get there in the end,
Oh, Clay, also beyond this bit, man.
So, no, but I think, there's obviously there's the offline thing and saying, you know, maybe you haven't. I've never really needed like Sarah, other than obviously the beer thing where it was just a throwaway, but I was still losing weight during that.
Yeah,
that was a thing, so it was kind of like, I don't think it was a massive concern. I've never really needed, like, I don't think Sarah ever really needed to go like, right, how are what you're playing, that kind of thing. I don't think Joe's ever really needed to do that either.
Yeah. I didn't insult you on Saturdays or anything, did I? Or did I?
No. I think there was probably.
I normally chase you around like cattle prods.
No, there was none of that. There was probably a couple of comments. It was actually on photo shoot day where you'd said something where it was like, you were a fat bastard back in the day. Kind of like, and the minute you said, everyone stopped and looked at us. I was like, I can't really counter argue it. To be fair, it was a fair comment. It's like I was, you know. It's like, but. No, I mean it's credit to all of you. To be fair, I say even just going in on my sessions where it's like obviously there's a set exercise where it's like maybe you're doing a plank for X amount of time. Like Alex is always just like, I'm going to push that a little bit further. I'm going to haul your 20 kilo plate on your back sort of thing. So it's it's credit. Yeah, it's definitely credit to all of you. To be honest with you, because you know, and
you've done the work though. You've still.
I have, but I have absolutely. But under the guidance of, you know, everyone who's, you know, whether it's physically in the gym itself or whether it's obviously offline and having those conversations, you know, everyone's contributed to that. And I think probably the key thing is having the right support around you, certainly from a mental health point of view. So having the right support, and as I say, whether it's you guys as PTs, whether it's the people you train with, as I say, on the 7 a.m. sessions and that banter and stuff, and it's just, the whole thing's just massively invaluable. So everyone's played just a little part in keeping us on the right track. And
I think that'll do for those big enough, won't it? What he asked for before the podcast.
Well, that's what we wanted. It's like,
Joe, you were amazing.
Absolutely
so
amazing.
Like,
absolutely.
Can't fault you in any way.
Exactly. So we've done. I think that's bigged up enough in it.
Yeah. You can send us some money after this.
Send them a thank you basket.
What would you say to someone who feels stuck like you once did?
We're looking at this from a...
This isn't if someone was sitting on the fence, probably like, I don't know, someone stuck in that state of where you were, like probably somebody who clearly anxiety, like around a lot of things, like fucking don't know what to do.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's a couple of things. It depends where you're at, because I say for me, I had certain benefits of realising, yeah, this is what I need to do. So for me, it was just that, I just kicked myself up the arse where it's like, look, I need to be in a gym regularly because I know it helps. You know, if you walk in and, you know, you do a session, it's like, yeah, I feel mint after that. 1 or 2 sessions is not going to offset it. So what I would be saying to someone is, you know, there's a couple of things. You either shout out and speak to somebody and start talking. I do this just generally with people. You know, I'm quite open about how I've been in the past because you just never know who's listening. So someone could be at a point where I'm feeling shitty. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to turn. And then by me saying, you know, I've been there, you know, reach out, speak to us. You know, speaking like I do not mind at all because obviously I take it very seriously. And I hate to think that someone's sat there not knowing what to do. So you either speak up, or if you're kind of in a position where you know, yeah, maybe I need to go to the gym, but I'm not sure about going to the gym, just do it. Just do it because, you know, I've been through that journey myself. I'm still on that journey now. But it massively helps you. And I say having the right support around you is absolutely critical. So yeah, speak up.
It's funny because obviously we are a business, and I never want to make this like always sound as though it's like a fucking advert. Do you know what I mean? Like this kind of thing. But I always like truly, like from not a business standpoint or anything like that, but if you can find a gym, like any fucking gym, any type of program, anywhere, wherever you are, like that is going to help you so much, like to clear that headspace. And like you said, after that, even just a singular workout, like what's that saying? It's like you only regret the workout you never did. Is that a saying type thing? Yeah. It is the only one. It's like, so when you do it, you always feel good at it. You never think that was fucking shit. Do you know what I mean? You always feel good, and it's like, I feel as though if people can like see who are in that downward spiral, downward state, whatever's going on, if they can find just something where they know they've got to be somewhere, especially a gym, because you can just release all them endorphins, like 105 kilo bench, do you know what I mean? Something like,
I mean, that'll do it, yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it, exactly.
That'll do it,
and
yeah.
with the right people around you, like cheering you on and stuff like that, it's like, but it's hard to get people over that, or out of that hole. And like past that first step,
it is, but then, you know, when I'd posted my results of this, so the amount of people who've reached out, whether it's Messenger, whether it's, you know, you get a WhatsApp from them. Yeah. You know, when I was at that 40th through the week, there's been a couple of people, like one of the lads has also been up and down, and he's like, what inspired you to actually do like that photo shoot? And it's like, well, it's kind of, you can't just look at that in isolation. That's why you need to look back over the last 2 years, the last 4 years. There's a whole series of events that's led up to it. Because I say it started as one thing, it's become something very, very different. And I think I've said to a few people, if me posting that just inspires that one person to just reach out and go, you know, I'm not where I'm at, you know, I'm not happy with things, you know, what have you done? The amount of people asking now, like, what's your meal plan? Like, what have you done exactly? And I think sometimes when you break it down to just, right, okay, you know, your nutrition needs to be like this, you know, X amount of movement, you do, and everyone's like, what is that? Hey, you're not doing these over elaborate things. You don't need to be over elaborate with it, you know. It's like, but then my meal plans might not, you know, fit with you, because you might go, oh, kind of like the thought of egg whites, like, oh no, I'm not doing that. But obviously, to go back, what he was asking, like, what prompted you to do that? And I said, well, it's an entire journey, and for me, I was lucky in the sense fight mode kicked in. Yeah. And I think I think sometimes we're probably, as people, will leave things too late, so we react to trauma. So rather than a preemptive strike, we're kind of reacting to something bad happening. Yeah. And yeah, it's a major change. It's definitely a major change, certainly in my life, my daughter's life. Absolutely. And there was always going to be an element of, you kind of fall off the wagon a little bit, even if I've been looking after myself, you know, falling off the wagon. But yeah, I was a little bit annoyed with myself. I kind of still let it get to that point. Because there's still, if you think it was a couple of years after she passed, then that's when I was on my downward spiral. There's still 2 years in between then when I could have been doing a hell of a lot more. So I do still kick myself up the arse, but
it's in the past.
It is. It's happened. But you know what? Rather than look at it as a negative thing, you learn from it.
Yeah.
So it's like, right, okay, I should have known better. Yeah, hands up. I've made a mistake there. I've overlooked a few things. Yeah, let's just crack on and move on. But yeah, so anyone, doesn't matter where you're at, if you're kind of on the fence, you don't know what to do, you speak to someone, reach out.
Yeah, reach out.
Reach
give
out. Seriously, just give us a call. But if it's, I say, just me posting what I did, if it just inspires one person to go, yeah, I need to change things here. Obviously, my journey comes from a place of it's a mental health and it's an anxiety thing. Everyone's journey is completely different here. So,
one person. That's why, I don't know if you've ever heard us say it before, but that's what we, behind the scenes, we call it the impact goal. So for every time we post something on socials, it's not about strumming up as much business as possible or whatever else. I mean, we're practically full, so we don't need it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we always say the impact goal of you've shared your photos, you've done your journey, it's inspired your daughter, it's now inspired your family, and then your friends are asking about it. And if any of those people then, and strangers as well, if any of those people then start the journey wherever, it's this fucking brilliant, just there and then just boom, 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 just
a snowball effect, isn't it? Yeah.
Of just one person sorting the shit out. And we've got that many people sorting the shit out, it's now this boom.
Yeah, just absolutely explodes. But I say everyone's done it for different reasons, so it's
What's next, Jonny? In training, in life, and even as a dad?
Even as a dad, well, she's 14. She's coming up to that couple of years' time.
I've got boys.
Yeah, you'll know the pain. I don't know, from a training point of view.
This was the warm-up, remember?
It's the warm-up, yeah, absolutely. I mean, now I know, at a certain weight what I'm going to look like, so that's now the next goal. So what I've done over the next year, I'm going to say the next year, until the end of the year, is, okay, 40th's in about 4 weeks' time. Yeah. Let's see how it can look. So myself and Joe have already got a little bit of a plan going on for that.
Okay, right.
A month later, Portugal, Villa with all the lads. So it's like, right, how can I look for that? It's just reminded us of a comment from a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
It was along the lines of, so obviously when the lads had seen that, it's basically going to be, it's going to be 12, 13, middle-aged, balding blokes, and then Jonny. It's kind of like, okay. It's like, it was never about that though, but it's I don't want people to be feeling shitty or anything. This was just, this is for me. So yeah, I got June, the end for that. And then there was a little bit of a kind of, I've got 6 months, I don't know. I think for me, if I can kind of I know there's something coming up. Got my cousin's wedding, beginning of August. So it's like, right, how can I be looking for that? And then you're kind of into the back end of the year. At which point, I'm going to end up committing this to video as well. So I'll probably end up be shredding in the January as well.
I think you'll be doing we'll probably be starting in the February for the Villa for the May time.
There's been a lot of this as well as are you doing the Villa this year? Are you doing the Villa this year just gone? I was like, well, I couldn't. I'd obviously committed too many things. I think when I was asked at the time, actually, I was like, this is just my idea of hell. I'm not going to lie. At that time, it was my idea of hell, whereas obviously a few months down the road. Yeah, so that's kind of the plan. So yeah, that pretty much covers the next year is let's see where we can get to. But obviously just, prior to doing the shred, there was just little bits coming off every week. So it's let's just do it slowly and gradually because that's me climatising to it. So that's definitely the sort of that plan. Probably another part of that is just obviously get your general fitness up as well. So I did attempt a couple of runs during this last week when I've been away.
Okay.
The only problem was both my knees felt like they were about to shatter. So I was just I'm going to have to just ease off for a week and hope my knees recovered by the time I'm back in on Monday. So there's that, but my youngest brother's now kind of encouraging I go running with him as well, so that's kind of encouraged that dialogue and opened that up. What was it? Fitness?
Fitness, oh God.
I mean, there's obviously...
life in
general.
Training, in life, as a dad.
Yeah, and as a dad, it's just... I'll be honest with you, as a dad, I just wing it on a daily basis, so I'm not thinking too far ahead, to be honest with you. Obviously, I know she's going into her last 2 years of school, genuinely because things have kind of landed quite well with her, because she's, obviously it was an uphill battle, but we managed to get her into the right school as well, so I kind of don't need to worry about her too much, so it's just, yeah, obviously just, you know, I'm just going to continue on as I am, and yeah, I'll deal with the trauma of her turning 16 in a couple of years' time when it lands, and then should be ordering wine at the bar before long. So I think that's me just getting, you know, I've got to get my head into that space of, yeah, she's not that far off that age now, which is a little bit scary, but you know,
you'll be all right.
Yeah, no, it's you know, I'm sure it'll be absolutely fine.
You've still got a full head of hair. I don't.
Well, that'll be one of my life goals, is trying to keep my hair. I mean, it's already starting to go. It's been shaved out yesterday of mine.
How many years older than you? Look at this man.
Is it not the stress of having the 3 units though?
It's the stress of teaching adults how to read. Hey Claire.
So, see, so I don't have that. I've just got one mini adult to kind of deal with,
yeah.
But. No, just in life, obviously, it's, you know, the one thing I'm kind of not happy with is where I'm at in terms of work and stuff like that, and I think I'm ready for the next challenge there as well. So obviously, there's, you know, that will be the next thing outside of here.
But exciting times.
But yeah. So yeah, just in terms of kind of goals and things going forward, I don't want to look too far ahead, if I'm being completely honest with you, because I think that's just, I'm in the wing it mentality a little bit, but yeah, I say the fitness stuff is absolutely, I've got that mapped out, and let's just see what happens over. I suppose surviving my 40th is probably going to be the next big thing, isn't it? Let's be honest with you, coming to terms with that. Because I suppose actually doing the shred, that was a little bit of, because I know that was one of your things, wasn't it? When you're turning 40, it's like, so this was last year, wasn't it? Was it last year? Because you did the...
Yeah, I did it just. I mean, that was where I say I'm not for business stuff. That was probably in a more of a business stuff mindset of like, I mean, obviously I didn't have like mega to lose or anything like that, but it was like, fuck it, I can do it at 40, no problem. Like, and I did it at 40, and it was like, look, I'm 40-year-old, I've got 3 kids, 3 businesses.
Yeah.
It's like, if I can do this without having a whinge on, then happy days.
Yeah, because there's an aspect of that where it's like, I want to see how I can look by the time I'm 40. So you go into your 40s and it's like, right, this is a solid base to work with. Because I know obviously Sarah's planning that. And
she's doing a two-year bulk.
Yeah, and there's been a few people who've then reached out actually after our post and said, you know what, I'm hitting 40 or my 40s have hit. It's kind of like, I need to sort my shit out here. Yeah. So it's yeah. But no, that's where we're at. It's just, I think basically, let's just keep the consistency going. It's generally very, very positive, and that is the overall aim, is to keep it going and not to backtrack on where we've been in the past. You know, we're on the positive train now. Let's stay on it, and let's just see where things take us.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thanking you.
Thank you, Claire.
To the live audience.